What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And in this video, we're going to go over the latest current stimulus check news and Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi in this video. But first, if you're not subscribed yet, click the subscribe button down below. This way you don't miss out on second stimulus check update information as it comes out. My wife and I spend hours of research for you guys every single day so we can bring you all the up-to-date news in a quick, concise video. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers, so help us reach our goal. It's so amazing to say that. Thank you guys so much. And don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. Okay, first up, the Republicans are bashing on Nancy Pelosi. Mitch McConnell vows to block the USPS relief bill, citing stimulus demands. They're talking about the House of Representatives passed a Democratic bill headed by Nancy Pelosi on Saturday that included $25 billion for the post office and no additional money for stimulus checks or for an unemployment extension. To give you a roundabout idea, the current money that is in the disaster relief fund for unemployment bonuses that was passed by the presidential executive order is between 40 to 50 billion dollars, and they're going to give 25 billion dollars just to the post office alone. And the Postmaster General said that they have 10 to 15 billion dollars on hand, the post office does, and they don't really need money right now. But yet Nancy Pelosi wants to give them $25 billion more immediately in this emergency session that she called back the House of Representatives to vote on a Saturday, but didn't include stimulus checks or unemployment extension. And apparently the Republicans and also her own party are very upset about that. The United States Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell responded quickly to the House of Representatives' new United States Postal Service relief bill on Saturday night, announcing that it would not be passed in the Senate. They did pass it in the House. McConnell tweeted that the Republican-led Senate would not pass this bill while American families continue to go without the help they need. Other users had some harsh responses to that. Mitch McConnell's tweet came almost exactly an hour after Nancy Pelosi's post announcing that the House had passed the Delivering for America Act. Delivering for America, it's delivering for the post office, not for Americans or America. It would provide $25 billion in funding for the USPS and reverse the president's damage to the agency, quote, quote there, if it could pass in both sides of the U.S. Congress. However, Mitch McConnell quickly dispelled the hope, as many predicted he would. The Kentucky senator claiming that he would not let this measure pass as standalone legislation. It's funny he's using those exact words because those were Nancy Pelosi's exact words. Get to that here in a second. Implying that it should be part of a stimulus deal. Mitch McConnell says Republicans are committed to making sure the post office remains well equipped to fulfill its important duties, but the Senate will not pass standalone legislation for the Postal Service while American families continue to go without the help they need. It's interesting that Mitch McConnell and the Republicans are basically throwing Nancy Pelosi's words back at her. Nancy Pelosi, the leader of the House Democrats. She said for weeks that she wasn't going to pass a piecemeal deal or a standalone bill for anything because it ruined her negotiating leverage. And the two main things she wants is post office and states and cities. But what did they do? They passed a piecemeal standalone bill for the post office. So she literally is a hypocrite against her own exact words, saying, oh, we don't want to pass a standalone bill, a piecemeal deal. And then the next week she literally does exactly that because it's her agenda. It's for her agenda. It's what she wants. It's money for the post office, because they think that Trump is against the post office, and he wants to stifle the mail-in ballots, which he is against the mail-in ballots, okay? So because Trump is against that, or was against that, the Democrats are immediately on the exact opposite side. It's like the constant struggle of Democrats versus Republicans. We're always on the opposite side of each other. So yet Nancy goes and passes a standalone bill with only money for the post office and doesn't include the stimulus checks or the unemployment. And yet the post office is saying that the House's bill might actually hurt its efforts to improve service. Imagine that, doing exactly the opposite of what they want. Yet the United States Postal Service is saying that the bill passed by the Democrats in the House could actually hurt its efforts to improve service, doing the exact opposite of what they meant to do. The U.S. Postal Service is voicing concerns that the new House legislation addressing changes at the agency would ultimately harm its efforts to improve efficiency and reduce costs in the lead up to the 2020 presidential election. We are concerned that some of the requirements of this bill, while well-meaning, will constrain the ability of the Postal Service to make operational changes that will improve efficiency, reduce costs, and ultimately improve service to the American people. We reiterate that the Postal Service is fully capable and committed to delivering the nation's election mail securely and on time, and will do everything necessary to meet this sacred duty. The Postal Service added, referring to mounting concerns about the agency's ability to process what is likely to be a significant rise in mail-in ballots in this year's election. I covered the potential problems with mail-in voting and the potential fraud with mail-in voting in this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys are going to be mail-in voting this year for the election because of the pandemic, or if you're still going to go and wait in line to vote in person. Also, the Republican National Convention starts today and goes until Thursday. They did officially renominate President Donald Trump and Mike Pence to lead their ticket for the Republicans. The Democrats just recently had their national convention. In recent poll updates, the president's approval rating on the handling of the pandemic has dropped to 31%. I do personally think, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I think it's a very tough situation with this pandemic. Do you close the country, then people aren't happy? Do you stay open and then people aren't happy? When people get the virus, they're not happy. I think it's a very tough situation to be in. In addition to that, an update on the actual presidential election polls. Joe Biden is currently leading at about 51% of the polling estimates, with President Donald Trump at 42%. And don't worry that this says CNN. I double checked this at several different news sites. I will show you in a second. They basically have new polls going out every day or two on multiple different sites, and you can see the slightly different results here on each one of the different polls. And again, I did check that on several different sites, as you can see here, so I can bring you guys, pretty accurate information. I know some of you guys don't like CNN and some of you guys don't like Fox News, so I did make sure that this is correct, but this is like the nicest looking one to be able to see on a YouTube screen. Also, a quick virus update for you guys. Virus cases in Europe are actually surging right now and are increasing every single day. New cases in the US are declining a little bit. We're still averaging about 40 to 50,000 new cases every single day. Experts do warn to make sure you're social distancing, wearing your mask, and just staying away from populated areas when possible, because this can turn around in just a second. Europe was doing really good with the virus, and now their cases are surging. We don't want to go back to that, so please stay vigilant and just try to not catch it. As weird as that sounds, is you can do some things like wearing a mask and social distancing. I actually was invited to a wedding from a longtime dear friend, And, we have a 2-year-old son, and, our parents are in their 70s. I'm actually going to be turning 40 in February. So, uh, it's a milestone year for us. But, we wanted to just make sure that we didn't want to go to a wedding with 100 people because, again, we have a 2-year-old son, and, my parents are in their 70s, and we just don't want to catch it. So, take a little bit of precautions. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. President Donald Trump did authorize a new treatment on Sunday. He had a news conference announcing this, that they will be administering convalescent plasma to people who have caught the virus. And it's basically convalescent plasma from people who have had the virus before, and the antibodies will help to fight the virus if you catch it. We do have the first confirmed virus case of reinfection found in Hong Kong. Researchers in Hong Kong said on Monday that they have identified the first documented instance of someone being infected with the virus a second time. The scientists at the University of Hong Kong said a patient got the virus a second time 4.5 months after the initial infection, and that the genomic sequence of the virus strain for the first infection was different than that of the second. So make sure you guys are subscribed. I will keep you guys updated with all this stimulus check, unemployment, and related news as we come out with new information. And make sure to smash the like button for us down below. You can click on this top video to watch my newest stimulus check video, and this bottom video is about the problem with mail-in voting. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.